We'll run faster and faster and go back into time as fast as we can. Pine, what do you have here?
Back in at 335.
Welcome back, everyone. Cameron with Burger Motorsports. We have our all-new series starting, building a supercar for less than $10,000. We just picked up a 2008 335i. It's a new BMS development car, whatever you guys want to call it. It's going to have our all-new canned fuel system on it, but we're not doing that today. Today, we're going to be running it bone stock, see what it makes. Completely stock, no modifications on it, other than these lowering springs that came on it when we got it. But before we do any of that, we're gonna take it over to CM Builds to get the basic N54 maintenance done, as most of you guys need to do if you guys own an N54. Many of you guys hop straight into the mods, not necessary. Go straight to the maintenance, get it taken care of, get it running good first, and then start modifying your car to make sure it's gonna last a long time to come. Once Chris is done with it, doing the oil change on it, we're gonna bring it back over here, put some new spark plugs in it, and then throw it on the dyno to see what makes the stock numbers. Let's go ahead and get the 335 pulled into Chris's shop now and start the oil change on it. Seems like we got a little bit of oil going on here. Hopefully it's nothing too bad, but it's an N54, so it's gonna be pretty bad. It's gonna be pretty bad. Because I'll be with Pine on the 335 over at BMS today, I brought down Angel. He's gonna be helping us out with a lot of our filming today. He'll be filming here with Chris while they do the F90 M5 retrofit onto the M340, while I'm with Pine on the 335. Let's see if he gets it on his glove. It's a fail. It's looking a little dark.
Pretty dark.
It's pretty dark.
We're going to be installing our Burger Motorsports billet oil filter cap. We need to make sure you put the new gasket on this like this. Okay.
Just so we know what we're really getting ourselves into, let's go ahead and have Chris cut open the oil filter and see if there's any shavings or bearing material, just in case.
She's dirty, but no.
Yeah, it just looks kind of dirty. So this is how you take out the filter cage to transfer over to the billet one.
You just kind of
Bop, just like that. We'll dive into the rest of it here in a bit. Let's take the car to the back right now, get it strapped down onto the dyno, and start swapping the plugs out.
Another important aspect to keeping up with your car is basic maintenance. Right now we're going to be doing the spark plugs. We got the NGK 97506 we're going to be installing on the car. That is 2-step colder, and we're going to be gapping at 0.022. We got our BMS gapper tool. We got our magnetic socket, and we got the feeler gauge. The feeler gauge has 4 different provided gap sizes.
So Pime has put the spark plugs on the E90. We're gonna go ahead and show you guys a bit of our catalog for all of our N54 parts.
I used to be like that way back then. I was way back then. I had ways back then. On the hip, in case the obstacle was my homie Tommy always had the hook up. You
laid out behind us about 50% of our N54 catalog. We've got Jason behind us. He's gonna go over some of these parts, their features, and which ones we're gonna be installing onto the car today. All right, Jason, let's go ahead and go over some of our parts we have here on our table.
All right, we got our N54 oil catch can for keeping oil out of your intake system. We have our cowl filters for the cowl delete, and we also have this new product, which is the cowl filter weather guards that you just put on top of your cowls like that, and they bolt right on, and they keep water, snow, moisture out of getting into your havoc system. We got the rear diff brace, which stabilizes the car, reduces wheel hop. We have these oil filter caps that are billet, and they have an integrated magnet in there, which catches metal filings and shows the health of your engine. The billet power steering caps, available in all colors. We have the jack pads here for jacking up your car with floor jacks. They go into a little pocket under the car. These are some other billet accessories. This is a oil filter cap removal tool made out of billet for removing the factory oil filter cap. We have the BMS pedal tuner, which is adjustable throttle response on the fly. And we have these protective wheel sockets, which are actually really cool. These, when you're removing your wheel, this helps not scratch the rim when you're taking the wheels off. This is the Bluetooth device that connects the JB4 to your phone or tablet wirelessly. We got the N54 JB4 here that we're going to be installing on our 335. The dual cone intake system. This is one of our most popular intakes, and it's so easy to put on. It's just a couple of parts, and it gives you like 30 horsepower. We have our intercooler here. This is the race intercooler, which is really, really big and awesome. Are you being sus? We have a charge pipe because the factory one's plastic and keeps blowing off. We got a blow-off valve here for some extra noise. We have the intake manifold with port injection. We got the Fuel-It Flex Fuel Kit for real-time E85 levels wirelessly on your phone in the Fuel-It app or the JB4 app. Upgraded fuel pumps here from Fuel-It. We have our E-chassis wheel spacers, which are available in 10 millimeter, 12 millimeter, 15 millimeter, 18 millimeter, and 20 millimeter. They come with bolts, and if you buy 2 sets from us, you get a free wheel pin tool. We also have the billet exhaust tips that just slip over your factory tips, and they look awesome. You guys will be seeing those later.
What are we going to be putting onto the car today?
We're going to be putting on the N54 JB4 system, Bluetooth kit, and DCI. After we do some runs with the JB4 system, we're going to upload the MHD flash. We're going to add some E85 and see how much we can get away with the low pressure fuel pump before adding our stage 1 or stage 2 fuel pump, depending on how we see fuel pressures are.
With all that being said, let's go and get the baseline numbers on our 335, and then we'll put the JB4 on it. Chaim got the car strapped down onto the dyno. He's going to run the baseline runs after we get the car calibrated in 4th gear, bring it up to 2,000 RPM, calibrate it on the dyno jet, and then we are good to go. The car is calibrated, ready to go. Get our baseline numbers here. Chaim, what do you think it's going to make here?
260.
I'm going to have to say that I agree with Chaim here. Angel, what do you think it's going to make?
261.
Jason, what do you think it's going to do?
It's going to make 265.
Bunch of fun guesses here, y'all. Let's see what the stock 335i makes here on the dyno. Here goes a stock baseline run on a 2008 335i with an N54. Let's see what we're working with here. What? 300. We got a liar here. Oh, it was the spike. We're looking at about 271 wheel horsepower, but because we have the spike right here, we want to run it again, see if it'll make a little bit more accurate number. Made 275 wheel horsepower and 306 wheel torque on a bone stock N54.
All right, we're gonna do our E9X cowl delete. This weighs about 10 pounds, and we're gonna replace it with this that weighs nothing.
Now that the cowl filters are installed,
I'm a beautiful boy.
here is our JB4 for the N54 sitting behind us with our JB4 Connect kit that can connect to your phone or tablet, as well as our MHD universal adapter that will be flashing our pump back and flash map from Burger Motorsports. The JB4 is now installed on the 335. Piam's gonna go ahead and get the MHD back-end flash put onto the car, our BMS back-end flash that is. We will be putting the pump flash on it today as we're just running 91 octane for right now. Because this platform is so old already, most people don't have any reason not to put a flash on their car, so we're just gonna do it from the get-go. We're not gonna run JB4 only. We wanna see what the car does with our pump back and flash on it that we make, Terry Berger makes. The nice thing about having the JB4 as well as our Berger Motorsports back and flash is that you can make all adjustments on the fly. You don't have to wait for any local or e-tuners to help you out with your car and get the car dialed in however you want for whatever fuel you're using. MHD is the leader in flashes for these cars. What's super nice is that the JB4 back-end flash map for these cars is under $100, so it makes it super affordable. You don't need to go spend hundreds or thousands of dollars in tuning. You guys can just go spend under $100 on top of your JB4. You're good to go. You can tune it on the fly whenever you want, wherever you want. Like I said already, we're gonna start off with our pump gas map right now, but we also have them for E85, port injection, hybrid turbos, whatever you guys have. We have the back-end flash for you on jb4tech.com. Something that's super nice with the JB4 that it includes tons of great features like absolute boost targeting, automatic wastegate adjustment, which is ideal for older cars, in-dash gauges, auto tuning, dynamic boost by gear to improve launches, and much more.
We just got the MHD and the JB4 installed. Let's toggle through the command mode menu and show you guys what the JB4 can do. Right now, you can see it's on map 1. I can toggle through the channel switch and change the maps, different modes for different folders. In the menu settings, right now we set everything up. An example of what the JB4 can do is that I put hijack mode, boost on fuel, timing on oil temp, so when pedal goes over 50%, it hijacks the two bottom for a couple seconds and then it'll revert back to normal as you'll see right now. There you go. So it's useful for when you're racing and you can't really look at your phone or you don't have a data viewer or something like that to see how your timing or boost is. You want to make sure it's on target. You take a quick glance down there while you're racing and you got everything that you basically need.
Let's see what it makes on the Berger Motorsports back-end flash with MHD and JB4 set to map 1. The car made 329 wheel horsepower and 397 wheel torque on our Berger Motorsports back-end flash with the JB4 set to map 1. The car made over 50 wheel horsepower and nearly 100 wheel torque. This is our bread and butter. This is the reason why this whole company started, because of the power we can extract from these cars. The log right there is looking really good on JB4 map 1, to be expected. Let's go ahead and kick the car over to map 2 right now with 91 octane in the tank. Still the exact same Berger Motorsports back-end flash. Here goes JB4 map 2. Alright, let's see what she did. Car made 348 wheel horsepower and 412 wheel torque, JB4 map 2 with the pump back and flash on it. The log is showing a little bit of timing corrections, so to jump to the next level, we're gonna need some E85 into the tank. We're gonna take the car to an E40 mix and then just flash our E85 back and flash onto the car. Once the E85 Berger Motorsports back and flash is loaded onto the car, we'll switch it back over to map 1, see what numbers we get. E85 map is on the car. Let's see what it does on JB4 map 1 with E40 in the tank. 376 wheel horsepower and 431 wheel torque, JB4 map 1 with the back end flash loaded. All right, so we got a little comparison here. On JB4 map 2 with pump gas in the tank, it made 347 wheel horsepower, 348 wheel horsepower really, and 412 wheel torque. That JB4 map 1 run with the E85 back end flash on it did 376 wheel horsepower and 431 wheel torque. The car just gained another 30 wheel horsepower and 18 wheel torque.
All right, looking through the log right now. Trims are good, boost is on target, ignition timing looks solid. I see a little issue here with fuel pressure, 48 running low, tapering down right at red line. So it looks like we might be at the limits of low pressure fuel pump. We'll do map 2 run and see if they could hold up to it. If not, we'll install Fuel-It stage 1 inline fuel pump.
After what Piam said, as you guys heard him, we're gonna run JB4 map 2 right now on the E85 vacuum class. What did she do? 382 wheel horsepower and 442 wheel torque, JB4 map 2. Gained another 12 wheel torque right here. and then about 6 wheel horsepower, almost 7 wheel horsepower.
Now that we just did our map 2 run, I'm reviewing the log. Boost looks great, AFR, fuel trims all look good. See timing pull up top. Fuel pressure is dropping a lot down low. This looks like this is the most we're able to push it due to octane and fuel pressure. So before adding E85 into the tank and raising boost, we need to upgrade to the Fuel-It Stage 1 low pressure fuel pump.
Head back here to our Stage 1 fuel pump from Fuel-It. Gonna be installing this on the car right now.
So we got the Fuel-It Stage 1 inline fuel pump ready to go. We're gonna be installing this on our 335 right now. This basically works as a secondary pump, but it is inline. It is not triggered off a hob switch or a secondary trigger. Disconnects directly to the power wires and the ground wires off the pump. Cheap option for people that need extra fuel pressure and fuel flow so they can run the 885.
I used to be like that way back then. I was way back then. I had brakes back then. Five on the hip in case the ops pull up. My homie Tommy always had the hook up.
I've just got the fuel pump put into the 335. We're gonna go ahead and run JB4 map 2 again on the same E85 back-end flash with E40 in the tank. So we knew it was going to make about the same power. Let's go talk to Pime and see what he thinks.
To getting the fuel pump installed, we just did a run on map 2 again, just like before. Low pressure fuel is staying steady all the way to red line. 73, all the way 70s. Okay, now we're good.
Yeah, I guess you guys have seen it on Instagram, but if you're on our YouTube channel and you haven't seen this yet, on our 8Y RS3, here's our prototype 5-inch intake. Very sweet. All right, here goes JB4 map 7 on the 335i. 393 wheel horsepower and 466 wheel torque.
I'm looking at the log right now from map 7. Everything looks okay. IATs are hitting 131. We're still on stock intercooler and stock airbox. I think we're going to go ahead and add the BMS DCI. We've been selling tens of thousands of them since 2008. You know, we've had the internet trolls claiming that hot air intake doesn't add anything, but we're about to prove them wrong. We're going to install it right now, show that it helps with IATs, looks great, sounds great, and it's 50 state emissions legal.
All right, so we are going to go ahead and throw these dual cone intakes on.
Who's we? Is that the car number? Keep referring to we.
Tommy always had the hook up.
I've just got the dual cone intakes put onto the car. We're gonna go ahead and let it warm up, do some more runs on it, see what kind of power it can make with the intakes on the car. We'll run map 7 again and see what it makes on a dyno. Fingers crossed, we'll see if she makes 400 wheel horsepower. Those intakes from all the way back there. There she is, 414 wheel horsepower and 490 wheel torque. Those are massive gains for a dual cone intake. 21 wheel horsepower and 24 wheel torque from our N54 dual cone intakes. That's absurd. That just shows how restrictive that factory air box is. Head to burgertuning.com today to get yours checked out. So we are in the car now. We've got Pime's JB4 app sitting up here on the dash, showcasing boost, RPM, our temperature of our transmission, AFRs, wastegate duty cycle, all 6 cylinders ignition and timing, our IAT temperatures, our high pressure fuel pump, as well as our low pressure fuel pump.
Other than having the live gauges on the phone or Android app, we have live gauges that I hijacked on the cluster like I mentioned earlier. Right now I have boost on the left hand gas gauge and I have IAT on the oil temp gauge. The increments are 60 degrees, 120 degrees in the middle, and then the highest is at 180. These each quarter is 5 pounds of boost. So it's 0, 10, middle, 20 up top. So right now I'm about to do a run and you can basically see how much boost and how our IAT is during the run.
All right, guys, with that being said, Pime's gonna go ahead and show us the results from our baseline to our finishing result for today. We had huge gains today. It was a great success.
Great success.
Pime's switching over to show us, oh, he already did it. Let's go check this out. We got on the dyno on 91 pump gas. It made 271 wheel horsepower and 305 wheel torque. After putting the JB4 on it, dual cone intakes, and an E40 mix with our stage 1 Fuel-It low pressure fuel pump upgrade, the car made 416 wheel horsepower and 487 wheel torque. That comes out to be 145 wheel horsepower gain and 182 wheel torque.
Was making fucking, you know, 270 horsepower stock, and then they're making 450, 480 horsepower like this. That's a lot back in 2000, like 9, 10, you know what I mean? Like this, the only thing that would be like that would be like the big dogs, the Corvettes, or something of that kind of level, like a supercar, where it's like, what, an inline 6 keeping up a BMW, fast and straight line like that? There's no such thing. That's why the N54 kind of honestly, literally changed the whole game, the whole industry back in 2007 when it like first came out. It really did, and that's basically what started BMS and how Terry got into this whole thing. Before he was still obviously into racing, but into getting into Burger Motorsports, the 335, the N54 is what started it.
There's a reason why this platform blew up as much as it did. Burger Motorsports was pretty much the head honcho of starting all of this in the first place. Everyone else followed after. We have a lot of great content coming up with this car in future videos. The next step with the car is going to take it up to full E85. To do so, we're probably going to need a high pressure fuel pump upgrade, or we're gonna go port injection. We'll go with our all new can fuel system, show you guys it operating on the N54, and go from there. Probably gonna do some off-road test pipes. Then from there on, it's whatever you guys would like to see with the car. We may take it to some future half-mile events. Let us know down in the comments what you guys would like to see next with the car. If you like this video, make sure to subscribe, like, comment, share with your friends if you enjoyed it. We'll catch you guys next Friday. Till then, we'll see you next time.